this video on converting between different measurement systems. By the end of this video, you should be able to use common conversion factors to convert standard units to metric and metric units to standard. All right, so let's take a look. We will be using a lot of the conversion factors that we've used up until now. But if you're not given a conversion factor to use to go from our measurements into metric or metric it back into standard, you're going to want to change your units to get into one of these, and these are going to be your gateways. So if we're talking about miles or feet or any sort of distance measurement, get into inches, and then you can convert to centimeters. If we're talking weight, get into pounds, and then you can convert to grams, and then you can move the decimal from there. If we're talking volumes, we're going to have to move into quarts, so we can jump into the metric system into milliliters. So let me show you kind of what we want to do. We want to use that same structure that we were using previously to help us organize our work, where you're going to start with what you've got, which is 1.5 yards. Okay, and I want to know how to get yards to meter. Well, yards is a distance. So this is without being given any hints, because sometimes you'll be given a hint what to use. I'm going to have to get into inches so I can get into centimeters. So to get yards into inches, I know that 1 yard is 36 inches. It's something we know we've talked about previously. So now I'm in inches, which is what I want. My yards canceled out. Now I can get from inches to centimeters. And I know that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Now I want to get into meters. So what I want to do here is let's go ahead and get our answer in centimeters, and then we'll move the decimal in our traditional metric to metric conversion, and that will be probably the fastest way. So we've converted yards and got rid of yards, inches, got rid of inches. We're in centimeters, which isn't quite our final form of meters, but we'll get there. So if you multiply across top and bottom, you end up with 137.16, and remember this is in centimeters. We need to be in meters, so if we look up here, we have King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. In centimeters to meters, I need to move the decimal 2 places to the left, 1, 2. So the final answer will be 1.3716 meters. All right, let's try that again. Looking at number 2, this is a distance one also. So we got to get into inches. So we have 157 feet. If I want to get feet into inches, I know that 1 foot is 12 inches. And the whole purpose of doing that is we wanted to get into inches so we can go over into centimeters. Because now I know that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So currently we're in centimeters and we want to be in kilometers, but we'll get our answer in centimeters and then we'll change it. So you're going to multiply across the top, 157 times 12 times 2.54. There are only 1 times 1 on the bottom, so we don't need the bottom. And we get 4,785.36. And remember, these are centimeters, okay? So if I look, if I'm in centimeters and I want to get to kilometers, I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have to plug in 1 extra 0 there. So I have 0.0478536 kilometers. Okay, so that's if we're talking distance. Let's try it with weight. We want to get from pounds to milligrams. Okay, so I have pounds to grams, and then we can use our metrics left and right jumping to get to milligrams. So we have 3.2 pounds and we know that 1 pound is 454 grams. If we multiply across, we get 1457.34, but this is grams. So remember, that's a base unit. And we need to go to milligrams, which is to the right 3 steps. Here's our base, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then we got one more, so we got to stick a 0 in there. So we have 1,457,340. So when we get some commas in there, 1,457,340 milligrams. Okay, so we've done distance, we've done weight. Let's try a volume. Okay, so there is 355 milliliters of Coke Zero in a glass. How many cups is this? All right, well, let's try it. Let's start with what we've got. We have 355 milliliters. Okay, and for our liquid measurements, we see that milliliter, 946 milliliters equals a quart. So 946 milliliters equals 1 quart. Then we have to go to our standard measure. We're trying to get into cups. Okay, so when we look at our, from the other day, so we're in quarts and we're trying to get to cups. So we got to go into pints and then we can go into cups. So we know that 1 quart is 2 pints. 1 quart is 2 pints. And then 1 pint is 2 cups. So let's check. We got milliliters, milliliters, quarts, quarts, pints, pints, and we're in cups. So we're going to have to multiply across on the top and the bottom. So let's take our calculators and we're going to go 355 times 2 times 2 gives us 1420 on the top. And then on the bottom we have 946. So you have to 1420 divided by 946 gives us 1.5, and remember we were in cups. Now let me point this out, that this problem, so let me show you, I've got my Coke can here, is 355 milliliters. That's where I got the 355 from, which is 12 ounces. Remember, a fluid ounce for a cup is 8 ounces. So there were 4 more. So that's 1 whole cup and half of another, which is exactly what we got here. All right, let's try a couple more. If 1 kilometer is 6.21 miles, so what this is this is a hint for you. Okay, this is a hint that we're going to use this in the problem to help us convert between the measurement systems. So how many miles will a person run during a 10-kilometer race? So we know we're starting with 10 kilometers. And we want to know how many miles that is. Well, they're giving us a conversion factor. We don't have to change into centimeters to get into inches. I have this conversion factor that's given to me. I just got to figure out what goes on top and what bottom. So since I have the kilometers on top, you know the 1 kilometer will go on the bottom and the 0.621 miles goes on the top. Okay, so every once in a while you'll get a problem that gives you the hint so you don't have to go through one of those gateways like we did for the first 4. So now our kilometers cancel out. We're in miles, which is exactly what the problem wanted. So if you multiply 10 times 0.621, you get 6.21 miles. It's much easier when they give us the conversion factor. It makes it faster for us. All right. What is the length? The length of a sheet of paper is 11 inches. What is the length in centimeters? Okay, so we're starting with 11 inches. And we had our gateway up here at the top because they didn't give us a hint that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. That's handy because we're already in inches, so we know 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. And that gets our inches to cancel out. So 11 times 2.54 is 27.94 centimeters. All right. What I want you to do is I want you to try these last two. Notice they give you some hints on these last two. Try them on your own and then come back and see how you did. All right, let's see how you did. So here on this problem, the height of an oak tree is 2.5 meters. What is the height in feet? So we want to go from meters into feet. And I tell you that 2.5 meters is 250 centimeters. So I just started with the 250 centimeters. And I can use that gateway of centimeters to inches there. So once I'm in centimeters, I go to inches. Once I'm in inches, then I can go to feet. So centimeters cancels, inches cancel, leaving feet. Across the top, it's 250 times 1 times 1, so we have 250. And then on the bottom, we have 2.54 times 12, which gave us 30.48, and we're just going to divide 250 divided by 30.48 gives us 8.2 with some rounding, and our final unit was feet, so 8.2 feet. Let's look again on number 8. 8, it just took, our hint was 60 kilograms. Our starting amount is 6,000 grams, so I'm just going to use that to start with. And grams is one of our gateways to get us into pounds. That's why the hint was there. And so 60,000 grams, and we know that 454 grams is 1 pound. So we're just trying to get to pounds. So that's all we got to do. So we can cancel out our grams. We're in pounds. When you multiply across, you get 60,000 divided by 454. And when you do 60,000 divided by 454, you'll get 132.2 pounds. So a person who weighs 60 kilograms weighs 132.2 pounds. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. See you in class.